Hi, I am Nick Shell, a certified Enneagram coach. I happen to be an Enneagram 9, dominant wing is 8. I want to address this concept of, well, we 9s often are already a paradox, especially with our 8 wing that wants to be in control and wants to have power, that is willing to be confrontational, but ultimately we just want peace. But we're people pleasers. Similar to Enneagram 2s, we're people pleasers. Now, here's what's weird about it. For me personally, I've never given in to peer pressure. I've never understood peer pressure. But for me personally, I can in a different way. And that is dominant wing 8. If you dare me to do something or challenge me not to do a thing or say a thing, I'm probably going to do it. Is that peer pressure? Absolutely. But there's that challenger in me that definitely wants to prove you wrong, that I'm not afraid to do that thing, that I'm willing to be the only person to do that thing, and that's the challenger in me. So that's a strange way that I'm a people pleaser. But I think it's also important that for me, I'm a self-preservation subtype. So something I've learned about myself in the process of writing a book about Enneagram and learning officially that I'm Enneagram 9 is that I have this sort of deal with society, that I am going to take care of myself as much as possible. If I can do it myself, I'm going to do it myself, and I'm not going to ask for your help. Because if I don't appear to be needy, then when I do need something, you're going to give me what I want. And in life, I've had a whole history of pretty much getting whatever I want. If I really want something, I get it. But I also don't ask much of people. I'm someone who takes care of myself. And that's the Enneagram 8 wing in me. And it gets, again, that self-preservation. I'll give you an example. Growing up, I was the good kid and I never got in trouble. And I didn't ask much from my parents. But when I did, I got it. Because we had this unspoken agreement in me as a kid that I'm not going to give you any trouble. You're never going to have to worry about me. But when I want something, I'm going to get it. Again, that wasn't a conversation, but it was an understanding. And I feel that that's still the deal that I carry on with my coworkers, with my wife and my kids. I'm not going to give you any trouble. I'm not going to give you a hard time. But when I do ask for something, I am going to get it. And that's that self-preservation. But I'm still being a people pleaser because I'm not asking people for anything. I'll give you an example here. In my own life, I do all of my own laundry. Of course, I help with the kids' laundry as well. I do most of my own cooking. I make sure that the dishes are all clean before we go to bed. I vacuum the floors, the carpets. I clean all the bathrooms. I want to make sure that if I can do it myself, I'd rather do it myself. There's a lot of things I can't do. And if I can't do something, I'm willing to pay someone to do it or ask for someone's help. But if I can do it myself, I'm not going to ask someone or pay someone to do it. I refuse to have someone deliver food to my house. Why? Because I can make food myself. I hate going to restaurants. It's stressful, it's extra money, but it's easy to be disappointed. But ultimately, I can make my own food, and I love my food that I make. So I can do that myself. I don't want to have to pay someone to do it. I don't want to ask family members or friends to do stuff for me that I can do for myself. It makes me feel awkward to ask for someone's help or for other people to serve me. So I'm happy to serve other people and I'm happy to take care of myself, but it feels weird for other people to serve me. And it feels uncomfortable to have to ask someone for help if I don't already have this understanding and this reputation that I don't ever ask for anything. So when I do, I'm going to get the thing that I need. So if you are Enneagram 9, there's a good chance you can relate to what I've said. Specifically though, if you're Enneagram 9, wing 8, actually self-preservation subtype. And granted, if you're a social subtype, you can still relate to this. If you're the sexual or the one-to-one, you can still relate to this because you're all 3 subtypes. But specifically, what I'm talking about right now is what it's like to be 9 wing 8, self-preservation. How am I a people pleaser? As a 9-wing-8 self-preservation, I take care of myself. I do things myself so that you don't have to help me, so that I don't have to ask for your help, so that I get what I want from you when I do need something from you. And also I'm a people pleaser because I do give into peer pressure. If you challenge me, if you say that I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong. If no one else is willing to do the thing and step in and fill that gap, I'm going to be the first to jump up and do that thing because I'm a challenger like that. I can't handle the pressure of not being the person who rises to the occasion. And I think in that way, I still am a people pleaser. Granted, I'm not growing a mullet just because that's a trend or whatever trends are. I don't care so much about trends and fitting in like that. I care about fitting in by filling gaps and being that dependable person who fits in by not fitting in, who fills those gaps and therefore belongs because I've filled in a gap. But I'm not fitting in by being like everybody else. So it's a very strange version of fitting in. It's a very strange version of peer pressure that ultimately I'm a 9. I want there to be peace. I don't want there to be conflict. I want things to be calm. So the more I can take care of myself, the more I can have that and not have to be depending on other people for my own sense of calmness and inner peace. And then when there are gaps, I will fill those gaps. I will be confrontational as needed. I will initiate conflict as needed because ultimately that's going to lead to peace in the room and the environment inside of me. But I am a people pleaser. I do have this weird concept of giving in to peer pressure in ways that I put on myself. And I think that would also still, even though I'm 9-wing-8, there's this concept of I still have a wing. I still have this reformer mentality, this perfectionist mentality that I'm a bit at odds with. But ultimately, I'm going to reform things. I'm going to make rules and regulations and allow there to be stability when there's not stability. Because ultimately, by bridging those gaps, even for other people and other people's relationships as they relate back to me, I'm ultimately causing there to be peace for everyone. But I'm not doing simply what I want to do. I'm doing it even if it seems like it's for selfish motives. Why? Because I want to feel peace and I want to feel comfortable and be comfortable. But I can't be comfortable and I can't be calm if everybody else is not. So I've got a lot of work to do so that I can be calm. But I can't be calm and happy and comfortable until everybody else is. Can you relate? Your comments belong right here.